let's get this one pregnant. So I'm going to draw the penis back in there. You don't have to make that noise. Can't. So we're going to put a penis in this vagina, and we're going, now look, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to hear about your sexual positions. I don't want to hear about acrobatics. I don't want to hear about any of this stuff. We're going to put this person in the missionary position, supine, on her back, with this penis in here, and it's going to ejaculate. And where does it ejaculate? It ejaculates into the posterior fornix. Now, I'm actually going to show you a movie of this in lecture. And if the woman has an orgasm after the male ejaculates, her uterus is going to contract. Now again, I'm going to show you a movie of this. It's pretty fascinating. When the uterus contracts, the cervix literally protrudes and dips into the posterior fornix. So that, I want you to imagine the Thanksgiving turkey now, and you've got your turkey baster. And you took that thing and you squeeze a little bulb at the end, and you stick the baster in the juice, and then you let go of the bulb and it sucks the juice up, right? Mm-hmm. Yes? Mm-hmm. Okay, so here's the uterus contracting. The cervix goes down into the posterior fornix. The uterus relaxes and sucks that stuff right up there. Now, does that mean that a woman has to have an orgasm to get pregnant? No. No, because the sperm swims. The sperm appreciates the extra little first stage rocket boost, but it doesn't need it. And I'll tell you another interesting thing. How long do you think it takes the sperm to get from there to there? 6 days. So, for the egg to get fertilized, it really needs to be fertilized here in the antrum. If anybody imagines, if your patients in the future ever imagine that fertilization occurs in the uterus, that's wrong. There's no fertilization in the uterus, because once the egg is fertilized, it has to mature for about 6 days. It has to divide for about 6 days to prepare itself to implant. So if fertilization occurred here, it would just fall out. That's not important. So for a person to get pregnant, she really needs to be having sex in time for sperm to be waiting at the time of ovulation. The cervix is really interested in fertilization actually happening. There's so many things against it. There's so many ways for this to not work. At the beginning of this cycle, when the estrogen level is low,
thank you,
the cervix responds by making a thick cervical mucus that is mildly, not very effectively, but mildly spermicidal, that actually kills sperm. But when, and this thick mucus acts as a plug to hopefully, you hope, keep sperm out. But about 6 days prior to ovulation, the cervical mucus, under the influence of increasing estrogen, the cervical mucus changes. It goes from thick and viscous to thin and watery. It changes its pH. Sperm hates acid. The pH actually changes from acid to base. And thus it loses that little bit of spermicidal quality. So that a woman who's having intercourse at this point in the cycle has a cervix that is welcoming sperm in. So that, and then when the estrogen falls again and progesterone starts to rise, that mucus changes again, anti-sperm. Fascinating.